everybody, welcome to Friday and welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, I'm Ron, and today I'm going to give you my experience riding the OneWheel Plus XR through Brooklyn, New York and over the well-known and frequently photographed Brooklyn Bridge. If you've ever wondered what it would be like riding the OneWheel through one of the biggest cities in the world, then this video is for you. Oh, and my dog says, welcome to Friday. Thanks for joining us. So let's get back to the video. In short, my goal for the day was 1, stay safe, and 2, not break anything while my wife Melissa was running the New York City half marathon. So my goal for the day was to get some great pictures on and around the Brooklyn Bridge. My day started out from a Holiday Inn on Union Street, Brooklyn, and I had to ride about 3 miles through Brooklyn to get over to the bridge. Now, if you're planning on riding in the city, I strongly suggest some safety gear. I was wearing both my helmet and some gloves just to make the ride more enjoyable. I have links below to all the safety gear I use or recommend below if you want to check that out as well. Plan on having to carry your OneWheel at times. Obviously getting around Brooklyn wasn't an issue, but later in the day I had to go uptown to West Central Park in New York to meet Melissa after her half marathon race was done. You'll have to carry your OneWheel through the subway system and through Penn Station, New York if you're planning on taking mass transit at some point. By the end of the day, I was wishing I had a carry bag or one of those handles for my OneWheel because it was getting heavy at times. It's like dead weight if you have to carry it for a few blocks. So just an FYI. Now the specs for the XR say it's about 27 pounds. But after lugging it around for a little bit, I'd swear it was a little heavier than that. Aside from the arm workout, great time. Also worth noting is I don't have a fender on my OneWheel, so my jeans got a bit dirty. This was from the tire rubbing up against me when I had to carry it. Just something to also keep in mind. I actually prefer to ride without the fender. Don't ask me why, just a personal preference. Now, I think I took my OneWheel over the Brooklyn Bridge probably 2 or 3 times. It's a great place to ride and some great views. The weather was great, especially in the morning when the sun was really shining through. I think I got some of my best pictures earlier in the day because of the way that the sun was hitting the bridge. So if you're planning on visiting the Brooklyn Bridge, I would recommend getting there early in the morning for some of the best shots. There were obviously a lot of folks taking pictures, tourists on the bridge, so be aware of that as well. Now, the best thing about one-wheeling on the bridge is you actually have your own bike lane. Occasionally people would be in the lane, but would move as soon as they heard me coming. The bridge has plenty of police presence on it, safety presence on it. I think I saw at least maybe 5 officers on the bridge with their there's like little go-karts that they get around on. It's perfectly legal to ride your OneWheel there. I had no issue at all and even stopped and spoke with a few of the officers while I was riding around. Now, if you want some really great shots, I would recommend riding under the bridge near the waterfront on the Brooklyn side of the bridge. There's a park under the bridge. It's the Empire Fulton Ferry Park, and you can get some really great shots from under the bridge. I also stumbled across what's called Jane's Carousel. Jane's Carousel is a carved wooden 48-horse carousel that was built in 1922. They have a website and it looks like you can get tickets for $2. It was closed when I was there, but it's a great place for photos as well. I think kids under 3 are free to ride the carousel. One final tip before I go, if you're trying to get around the city, you can use the Google Maps app. It will walk you through how to best get around the city. The app's actually pretty good because it'll tell you which subway lines to take in order to get around the city. You can choose directions for either walking, driving, or taking the subway, and it will map out the path for you and give you the directions from wherever you're standing. It's a pretty cool app if you're not familiar with getting around the city. It actually worked pretty good for me. So in short, I would encourage you to bring your OneWheel into the city if you want to make the most of your time and get around quickly. It's a great time and I had no issues riding while I was there. Most of the streets did have bike bike lanes, but I switched between the sidewalks and the bike lanes depending on the conditions of the road or the sidewalks and how busy they were. Actually wasn't too bad because again, I got down there earlier in the morning. If you ride in the street, just be sure to follow the traffic light patterns. As you know, you can get a ticket for running a red light even if you're on your OneWheel. I think Casey Neistat also mentioned a few weeks ago that he had gotten a ticket on his boosted board for running a light. So if you've ever ridden your OneWheel in the city, let me know in the comments below, as I'd love to hear where some of you may ride. Also, let me know your thoughts or experiences with city riding. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you found this information to be helpful, and if you did, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. If you're an active subscriber, I do thank you. If you're not an active subscriber, I hope you'll think about subscribing. And until next time, safe riding.
Summer's gone, I'm latching on. Don't even know your name, but you're still in my head. Underneath rays of gold, your body oh so close. No, I can't forget, no.